Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to a new video. As you can tell by the title, I will be ranking the NFC East defenses going into 2017. My opinions on what defenses will thrive and what defenses will struggle. So if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, whatever. If you agree with what I'm saying, like. If you don't, leave a comment on why you disagree or what you disagree with. And I just want to hear everybody's opinion. But I'm gonna go worst to first with this one. The defense I think that will do, and I don't want to say worst to first as in the defenses will be bad. This is strictly just ranking them, just in the NFC East. I mean, we could all very well have good defensive years, and somebody has to be at the bottom, So I'm going to start with saying that the Eagles will have the least effective defense. And this is why. I mean, I feel like everybody know where I'm going with this, but it's the truth. The cornerback situation is just not a good situation for you guys right now. I mean, y'all did draft two cornerbacks in the draft, and from what I hear from Eagles fans is that they're showing out, except for Sidney Jones. But I hear that other boys really giving Alshon Jeffrey a run for his money. But with that being said, with the offense in this division alone, you're going to need 3 solid cornerbacks. And that's just being real. That's just being honest. And you guys haven't had that for quite some time. Even with being in the draft, where you guys had the opportunity to grab multiple cornerbacks. I mean, you had other needs, but as far as grabbing what you really needed and a plethora of it, you guys didn't. You guys chose not to. I still kind of like the draft. I was still kind of a fan of it, except the Donnell Pumphrey, but whatever. But yeah, y'all cornerback situation is really bad. I mean, you got one guy who's hurt. They said he got the boot off, but to be honest, if you want to be smart, don't rush him. I would still sit him out this year, or at least like until late. If you guys have a bad season and you just have a game just to have a game, throw him in there, see what he does. But besides that, I will rest him. So beyond that, you guys got another cornerback, and like I said at the beginning, he's doing his thing against Alshon Jeffrey. He's balling, he's doing this, he's doing that. But we, as a division, are top 10 in strength of schedule. Like, all of us have a tough schedule. So the fact that you guys get one corner, and yeah, you guys have safeties, but I mean, they're kind of getting up there in age. Yes, they're veterans, but it's almost like, how much elite play do you expect from those guys? And you guys gonna need elite plays, because y'all cornerbacks are gonna I don't want to say they're gonna get torched, but they not. I don't see it. I'm sorry, I just don't see it. I really don't see it. I don't see them playing up to a caliber to where you don't have to worry about anything. So you guys gonna have to play in a lot of cover 2. You guys gonna have to play a lot of zone, because those boys are gonna need help. And zone can be a good thing, and it's gonna be a bad thing depending on the quarterback you play, because like Aaron Rodgers showed the Giants, you play zone too much, they will pick you apart. So I mean, I just feel like with just the cornerback play, I feel like you guys are good at linebacker. I feel like you guys are good at D-line. I feel like your safety game is okay. But what's really seriously important about a team in defense, one of the most serious roles on defense is your cornerback play, especially when you're going to be going against the Amari Coopers and all those type of players. And then even in the East, we have so many receivers, it's not even funny. So I mean, I just don't see you guys being able to cover it all. And it makes your year a lot worse when you have to struggle in division and then you don't have anything to help you outside of the division. So we're just gonna have to see. Like I said, I don't think you guys are gonna be bad. I just don't think you guys are gonna be all that good. I don't. I mean, you like I said, unless that D line is like really killing quarterbacks all game, or you having box safeties play outstanding, tackling everything that come out of that come out the backfield or something like that, then there's going to be a lot of stress on your cornerbacks protecting these routes when they're young and inexperienced as far as the NFL level. And there's nobody in that cornerback room to learn from, really. I mean, Jalen Mills is like y'all guy right now, and Jalen Mills only had 1 year, and that 1 year wasn't good. So they don't really have anybody to learn from. So it just kind of, them just kind of teaching each other, to be honest, which isn't a bad thing necessarily, but it is when you're going against teams that are playoff caliber and double digit, in the win category. So it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough, y'all. Y'all gonna have to, y'all defense are gonna have to depend on each other a whole lot. Y'all gonna have to depend on each other a whole lot, and defenses work like that anyway. But I think y'all gonna leave a lot of open space for these tight ends and these wide receivers to kind of do their thing, just because of the inexperience, just because of the youth, and all that on y'all team. So, I mean, we'll see. I mean, if y'all linebacker core and y'all D-line can get to them quarterbacks and take the pressure off them young corners, then, hey, y'all do your thing. But if y'all don't get to that quarterback and he gets time and he exposes those corners, and I don't want to say exposed because they're young, so they don't really get exposed, but if they get beat early and often, and that can really affect their play, as far as their mentality, as far as their heart, as far as their grind and all that type of stuff. So if they can mentally hold it together and that D line can do that thing, then y'all be all right. But I just firmly right now think that I don't see it. I think y'all will be the last defensively in the NFC East. So second to last, I have, this one was a lot tougher. I'm gonna have to say this. I'm gonna have to say the Redskins, and the only reason I say the Redskins is because the Redskins defense gave up so many yards. I mean, they gave up so many yards. They gave up a lot of yards. And the thing about it is, the Redskins fan was like, they were so hype about getting Josh Norman, and they said, oh, Brashad Breeland this and Brashad Breeland that, and Sewell Cravens made that interception off of Eli. They thought Sewell Cravens was this big beast monster. And I'm not saying Sewell Cravens not good. He's training with Ryan Clark, the same guy that trained Landon Collins from year 1 and year 2, and we all saw what that looked like. So, hey, he can learn, he can evolve just like Landon did. But that's the reason I separate you guys from Dallas. Now, I think that Breeland is overhyped. I think that the Redskins fans overhyped Breeland. Breeland showed the Redskins fans this year that he is overhyped, and for some odd reason, Redskins fans still back him up like he's like gonna be top 10 or something like that. No, he's not. Let's be realistic. If he could just do his job, even if he needs safety help, if he could just do his job, the Redskins defense would be a lot better, and they wouldn't be getting exposed like that. They wouldn't be getting exposed like that, to be honest. Like, and the thing about it is, you got Josh Norman. I'm gonna put all biasness aside. I'm not a Josh Norman fan in the beginning anyway, but I'm following numbers. Numbers wise, he really didn't do much of anything. And numbers wise, he had like what, 19 plus penalties. That's more than what any defender in the league. If you're paying a guy $72 million, no way should he have 19 plus penalties. That's ridiculous, and that costs the team. That's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So that just shows that Josh Norman needs to work on his coverage, and Redskins fans back that up by saying, oh well, he's just physical, or oh he just that's just how he play. He play nasty. It's a difference between playing nasty and costing your team 5 to 10 yards because you wanna hold, or you wanna do something extra after the play almost every play. It's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? That's why y'all giving up yards. Whenever Josh Norman is not being super duper aggressive or not talking and running his mouth, then he's getting beat, and the tape shows it. You know what I'm saying? Do I think Josh Norman is a bad cornerback? No, I don't think he's a bad cornerback. Do I think he's an okay cornerback? Yes, I think he's an okay quarterback. Can't no Redskin fan tell me that they think that man deserved 72 point something $1 million? Ridiculous. That was a bad move. That was a bad move, especially when the dude only had one good year and you give him $72 million. Man, nah, no. And then he runs his mouth on top of that and says what he gonna do to the NFC East. He gonna have a lot of pills to swallow. And the fact that Redskin fans are so biased and they think that he's really gonna back up what he says, and they think that he's just gonna lock down everybody, is freaking ridiculous. Like, I find that utterly ridiculous that you think that this one guy, because Norman ain't fast, he's not the quickest. What Norman is best at is getting his hands on you, being overly aggressive, hoping that he don't get a flag, and then throw you off your route. Now, sometimes does he do make good plays? Yes, he does. Of course he does. You know, any cornerback can make good plays. But the fact of it is, when you do it too much, now you become a liability to your team. You become a liability to your defense. You know, your defense can catch a sack, can do a sack, and then, you know, they get called back because he holding, or he's being too excessive. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that cost your defense. It really did. Y'all D-line was okay. Ricky Jean Francois, I think that's his name. He was talking, like, all that dude there is talk. All he do is talk, and he wasn't worth much of anything, to be honest. Y'all, like I said, y'all did great in the draft. I'm not gonna lie. Redskins, when y'all held down that did them linebackers, bro, that was crazy. And I think Sewell Craven's gonna come and he gonna do his thing. So, like, do I think y'all gonna be bad? I mean, probably not, to be honest. If those linebackers play like I think they're gonna play, and if Sewell play like I think he's gonna play, I don't think y'all gonna be bad. But I'm not expecting much from Breland in the first place. I'm really not. And I'm not expecting much from Josh Norman from a standpoint of just being a clamps down guy. I don't expect it. I done been over the numbers. I done been over everything. And I haven't seen anything that makes him stick out and say, whoa, like, Josh Norman did his thing. Like, I mean, I just don't see it. If y'all disagree, shoot, let me know. Let me hear it. But besides that, I think he got paid too much. I think he should have showed y'all more than 1 year before y'all decide to commit to this dude, give him $72 million. Freaking ridiculous. So, yeah, besides that, I think y'all be okay at best. I think y'all will be a little bit better than the Eagles simply for the fact that y'all do have cornerbacks that have experience and possibly will do better. But that's what separates y'all from the Eagles for me. To me, the Eagles have a better linebacking core, but like I said before, I think the cornerbacks will just give up way too much. I think they will give up way too much to be better than the Redskins. So, of course, number 2, I have Dallas. This is why I have Dallas. I don't necessarily think... Well, here's what Dallas did smart. I'm going to start off with that. Dallas had, 8 draft picks and spent 6 of them on defense, which completely shocked the hell out of me because I'm like, I don't know Jerry Jones. You know, Jerry Jones wants to be the star of the party. Jerry Jones wants to have the... he wants to have the wow pick. And he didn't make any like wow super duper picks. He made it, they made some defensive picks. Like, say something with defensive, that's freaking ridiculous. You know what I mean? And yes, they got rid of all their corners and a safety and a lineman and all that type of stuff. But to be honest, the defense, in my opinion, the defense not going to be on the field long enough to make mistakes. And what I mean by that is I think the offense is going to control the ball most of the time like they did last year. And it showed in the numbers. They like top 3 in as far as ball control. They've held the ball, you know, only 2 other teams have held the ball more than them, you know. So I mean, it's going to have to be one of those things where when the defense is on the field, you have to expose them, and you got to expose them quick if you can expose them. Any shots you take, you have to take them while you have them. Not because the defense is so good, but if the defense happens to stop you, you might not see the ball for another 4 to 5 minutes. You know, that's or 10 minutes or something like that. Like, their ball control is crazy. If Zeke does what Zeke does, like, I don't know if he'll continue it for year 2. I don't know if that going to continue it for year 2. But I do think that if they do continue it, I don't think the defense will be on the field long enough to really be picked apart. That's just my opinion. No, it's more of a fact because their ball control is ridiculous, it's unheard of. Well, not unheard of, but you know what I mean. Their cornerback play, they got some nice guys. I've seen tape. I think they got some pretty good ones. People were saying Woozy was a steal. I don't see how Chidobe was a steal if he was drafted in the 2nd round. That's not really a steal. I mean, it was just a good pick. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like they got Chidobe in like the 5th round and then he go out this year and have like 3 interceptions, and a whole bunch of tackles, a whole bunch of breakups, and a low QBR. I mean, a QB percentage. But I mean, you got him in the 2nd round. I thought it was a good pick. I still think it's a good pick. I think they'll do their thing and they'll feed off of the offense. I think the offense is gonna keep it on the sideline long enough to the point where they don't have to be on the field as long. So they're rested, they're able to do, you know, what they want. You know what I'm saying? If they get a 3 and out, they know it's a good chance the offense is probably gonna score. You know, so I mean, I don't think they're gonna be bad, but I don't think they're gonna be on the field long enough to prove that they're good or bad. I think they're just gonna be one of those guys, one of those units where it's like, look, just hold them, you know, just hold them as best as you can and wait for the offense to come out and let the offense, you know, take care of it, which is nothing wrong with that. But I think that's how it's going to happen. And Dallas historically isn't a defensive team. They're offense, you know, showboaty offense. So I just, the reason I have them ranked number 2 is because statistically they're going to look good because the offense is going to keep that ball and they're going to keep it rolling. They're always going to be rested. You know, they're not going to overexert themselves because I don't think they're going to have to. That's just my opinion. They also got Taco Charlton. I think he was a good pick, even though people were upset about it and said it didn't make sense. I think he's athletic enough to do multiple things. I think he's a Swiss Army knife on defense. I think that he can be a real game changer. I think he's going to be a real game changer for them. If he plays to his potential and does what a lot of people know that he can do, I think he's going to be a real game changer. So that was also a nice pick by Dallas. And number 1, I have the Giants. And no, it's not because I'm a Giants fan. I'm not biased like that. I don't care enough to be biased. But I think we will be the best in the division. And this is why. Last year, we proved to be the best in the division when we were top 10 in the league for having the most defensive snaps. Meaning the defense stayed on the field and we still only gave up 17 points per game? Or maybe less, something like that. And to be on the field that long and to only give up on average 17 points a game is monster. you know. We had some people come in and made some good strides, and it's people, and most of those people are still here. Like, I think we only ended up getting rid of 2 people, 2 or 3. I'm not sure if Leon Hall is gone, but I know for sure that Kelvin Shepard is gone, and Jonathan Hankins is gone. But what we did in free agency, I mean not free agency, what we did in the draft, we got Dalvin Tomlinson. Dalvin Tomlinson is a run stopper. He's a big guy to put up a gap in that middle, and he eats blocks. The dude eats blocks. He's from Alabama, a real heavy hitting school. And he's smart, and he's more athletic than people give him credit for. And I hope people sleep on that fact, because he will chase down the quarterback. He's not super big, but he is a little thicker, so he can plug those gaps really good, eat up those gaps really good. And then once he get in the backfield and the QB decide to scramble, he's running with you. I'm not saying he's catching the quarterback, but it puts a quarterback at a certain mental state when he knows that if this guy gets free, I'm going to be chased. You know, he doesn't give up. You know, he's a fighter, and then he's going to be on a defensive line that has some respectable members. You know, OV on one side, then you got JPP on the other side. Then he's right next to Snacks. Everybody respects Snacks. I don't care who you are. You cannot like the Giants. You can hate them with all your guts, but one person that you're fully going to respect on that D-line is Snacks, because anything that come up that middle, he's eating. Everything, he's taking it. You know, he's not finna give you more than 3 yards, you know. So with him being next to Snacks and with everybody on that line demanding attention, I think that he's gonna get the lighter load, and I think he's gonna take advantage of it until he starts to get that respect. Then you have Janoris Jenkins, then you have Eli Apple, then you have Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. People was like, oh, Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie's old, blah, blah, blah. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie only gave up 1 touchdown in the last 2 years. I don't care how old you are, that's monster, period. He doesn't really give up the big play. He still has great makeup speed. Dude had 6 interceptions last year, a sack, you know, a couple of tackles. But when he was in the slot, he was shutting stuff down in the slot, and he can play outside. That's the thing about him. He can play on the outside. Eli Apple, in camp, they said he got faster. He put on 10 pounds of muscle, which is very good. So he ain't getting bullied on the outside. He was 194, now he's 204. He made the all-rookie team. 1 forced fumble, 1 interception, a good bit of tackles. He allowed 11.1 yards a catch, I believe. I can't remember. I have to go back and look at that, but I believe it's 11.1, and that was 3rd least among rookies, which is, I don't care what nobody say, that's good. Like, of course he's going to get better. He has to get better. Last year was an okay year for him, but I know, like, with him learning from DRC and Jack Rabbit and all that type of stuff, you're learning from 2 different types of cornerbacks. So I feel like he's gonna get the attention that he needs to be able to do his thing. Then I think that Landon Collins is going to have a good year. I'm not saying he's going to have the best year. I'm not saying he's going to have like a super duper beast year, nothing like that. But I think that Landon Collins he's still going to be that monster. Like I said, I don't think he's going to get 5 interceptions and all that type of stuff, but I do believe that he's going to get a good amount of interceptions, around 3-4-ish, something like that. I think he's going to get around 3-4 sacks, and 80 plus tackles, because that's the kind of guy he is. You know, that's the type of stuff he do. We see what happens when he's comfortable and he gets the training that he needs. We see what he can do, you know. So I think he's going to keep that up. I think people are going to continue to sleep on Andrew Adams, which I appreciate. People don't realize that as far as grade wise, he was the 2nd highest graded rookie safety besides Keanu Neal. That was the only person ahead of him, and he played lights out. And I think he'll grow and get better into his thing. And then we got Darian Thompson. He coming off injury. I think he's a good player. I like Darian Thompson, but I still kind of want to see what Andrew Adams can do. But as far as that, you know, Andrew Adams was doing his thing. He can cover. He can fly to the ball. He can hit. He don't make many mental mistakes. You know, he pretty much have the plays wrapped up when he see them. So, you know, you have that. Our weakness as the Giants team is the linebacking core. And we getting BJ Goodson. We drafted him out of Clemson, I believe, last year. And he sat out because he had a hard time getting the playbook. They said that he understands it now. He's reading things better. He's more vocal. He's more confident. So we're going to see how that turns out this year when we see him play. But that's how I see it. I see this year the defense are going to rack up with Philly at the bottom, Redskins, Cowboys, and the Giants. Like I said, if you don't agree, leave it in the comment section. Let me know. If you think I made any mistakes, let me know. If you agree with me, like the video, comment, subscribe, all that. And yeah, I think the NFC East is still going to be a beast division this year.